dangers. And as the FDA continues to consider a ban on the formaldehyde that's used in some of these products, the New York Times has a major overview chronicling the scientific research and suggesting that this substance is linked to certain cancers among Black women. Joining us now, New York Times contributing writer Linda Villarosa and ABC News medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton. Thank you both for being here. We were chatting all through the break. Linda, you started this years-long investigation, and you were just interested because you've been there. You've gotten a perm before. You in your grandmother's chair in the house. We've been there before. Tell me what you found.
What I found was a link between the chemicals in hair relaxers and a number of cancers that plague Black women. And the research was driven by Black women epidemiologists, and it culminated in 2022 with a study that made an explicit association between these chemicals that are marketed to us as safe and natural and uterine cancer.
And you just said that's marketed as safe and natural. Dr. Darian, tell us about what's potentially concerning about those ingredients in hair straighteners.
Well, Janae, I think it's the chemicals themselves, as Linda in her writing explained. When you look at the chemicals like formaldehyde and methylene glycol, we know from science that these chemicals have a known association to the increased risk of cancer and disrupting the natural hormone balance within the body. And given their popular use among women of color, it begs the question, could they be associated to the disproportionate rates in uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, and also early puberty, fibroids, and then even it extends beyond that, cardiovascular disease and diabetes. But as Linda was saying, this is more of an association. We don't yet have a clear cause and effect, but nonetheless, it's clear that you want to avoid these chemicals as much as possible.
And so Linda, while the FDA while we're waiting for the FDA to make that decision, what do consumers need to keep in mind? Because you went into a shop, women are still getting their hair relaxed.
I think what you should think about is lowering your toxic burden on your body. So that means if you choose to use a hair relaxer, don't use it as often. And also be cautious, because the problem really is burns and abrasions that allow the chemicals to enter your scalp. I think the other thing is we can straighten our hair with heat. And as the growing natural hair movement has shown, we can wear our hair we have many different options, and every option is beautiful. Oh,
and come on, girl, you are showing us with the cornrows this morning. I was telling you how much I love it. I love it. I've got the curls. Dr. Sutton, you look amazing too. Tell me though about the challenges, because I mean, in society, we have long suspected this correlation, but it's hard to point to it. The FDA is looking into it, but why? What's the challenge in getting over that hump?
I think we just need to expand research, and we need to make it more diverse. Research has always faulted in including us. And so I think that this is one of those examples where we need to be studied so that we can understand what are our risks, so that doctors like myself can explain those risks to patients, and also just in general, explaining it to our families.
Okay, but from what we know out there right now, there are risks. There are risks. Okay. Yes. Thank you both so much. Thank you for that reporting.
Guys, so you just saw that. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you'll subscribe. But anyway, you guys, this whole thing about relaxers and, cancer and stuff like this, I have something else on my channel about it. I will drop it down below. But anyway, you guys, just coming back on here just to reiterate and just to stress to you, that's up to you. If you want to have chemicals in your hair, but what they're trying to say is that, they're actually thinking of banning it. The FDA is thinking of banning relaxers or any type of hair product with formaldehyde in it, because they feel like it can contribute to, especially African American women having cancer. So, you guys, you got to think of some other kind of alternative. If you want a straight look, like you can work a wig, you can wear a sew-in. I understand working in corporate America, because I'm back in corporate now myself, so I get it. But, at the same time, you don't want to end up with cancer because of the chemicals that are in these products. And so what they're pretty much saying is that sometimes when people get their relaxers done, or God forbid if you're doing it yourself at home, sometimes you can leave the relaxer, the chemical, on your scalp. It can stay on your scalp too long. And when you get the scalp burns, they're pretty much saying that it can kind of penetrate your scalp, and the chemical can go into your bloodstream. And so that's what they're pretty much saying could contribute to African American women getting cancer and stuff like that. I'm going to drop this article down below. I'm going to drop some more information down below. Also going to drop the previous video I did on this. So this is just like a second warning. You know, it's all over the news. If you Google it, you can read about it. But, you know, we have to think of other alternatives because, you know, I mean, you don't want to risk getting cancer just to have straight hair. You can wear a wig, you can wear a sew-in. It's all kind of other alternatives for straight hair where you don't have to damage your own hair and where you don't have to end up possibly with cancer. Again, you know, they're saying that it's from the chemicals penetrating the scalp and then going into your bloodstream. So like a lot of people use no-lie relaxers because they feel like a no-lie relaxer is milder and all of that. That is a negatory. A no-lie relaxer is not milder. It's called calcium hydroxide. You can Google it. And what it does, it doesn't burn the scalp. You know, so for some people who say they burn easily and stuff like that, you know, if you tell a hairstylist that, they're probably going to use a no-lie relaxer, which I never use no-lie relaxers because I know it's not healthy for the hair, and I'm a retired, like, old school stylist who, you know, were doing hair, you know, have over like 30 plus years of experience in the hair industry. So nowadays, you know, if you tell a stylist sometimes that if you have a sensitive scalp or something, they're going to grab the no-lie relaxers. And so those are the relaxers that, you know, you see where you pour that liquid in there and you stir it up. So those are the calcium hydroxide no-lie relaxers. And so for those, a lot of people feel kind of more safe because they feel like it's not as harsh. They feel like it's not as strong as a lye relaxer. And they feel like, you know, oh, my scalp not burning, so it gotta be mild. That is a negatory. That is not true. I'm gonna drop some information down below about the calcium hydroxide relaxers. And also, you know, by the mere fact that it doesn't really irritate your scalp, it doesn't really burn. You know, sometimes stylists may tend to leave it in longer. Sometimes if you're doing it at home yourself, you will leave it in longer. And doing relaxer or any kind of chemical at home yourself, I would not advise that. Like I always say, God, he gives us only one head of hair. Like God gives us only one head of hair. So, you know, when it is gone, you know, when it is gone. So you want to take care of what the one head of hair that God has given us. So, you know, it's so much information out here now. Even if you're not a hairstylist, you can gain and glean so much information that's out here now online, on social media, on YouTube. You know, you can Google stuff. You know, which Google, they owns YouTube. So like a lot of information out here. And so, you know, there's not really an excuse to not have knowledge now. Because even in the Bible, you know, it says in the last days, knowledge will increase. And I feel like knowledge has. It's so many ways now to gain information and to learn stuff that you may not even know. But, you know, stuff you may not even know about. So anyway, you know, I would not advise using a no-lie relaxer, which is calcium hydroxide, because you're going to feel kind of safe with using it because you're going to feel like it's mild. You're going to feel like it doesn't burn quick. You're going to feel like all that good stuff. But really, it's not good stuff because all of that is negative. All of that is not true. So anyway, and then another way you're going to think that is safer, and another reason why is because you can get it pretty much in Sally's Beauty Supply. You can get it probably in Walmart. You can get it in the grocery stores now. You know, it's so many places that you can get the no-lie relaxers. They call them kitty perms or box perms. You know, I'll put some up on the screen so you'll know what I mean. But you guys, take it from an old head, retired hairstylist. That is a negatory. So even though you may not feel your scalp burning when you use a no-lie relaxers, trust me, it's burning. It's getting, the chemical can be penetrating through your scalp into your bloodstream. Even more so, in my opinion, with the no-lie relaxers, with the kitty perms, because you don't even know that, you know, it's burning. You can't even feel, you know, the discomfort. So, you know, don't feel safe, you know, because you're using a no-lie relaxer or calcium hydroxide relaxer that's going to be a negatory. So just want to come on here and remind you guys and reiterate to you guys that the FDA is still thinking about banning relaxers, especially the ones that have the formaldehyde in it, or any hair product with formaldehyde in it, because they see that it's linked to cancers, especially in African American women. So you guys know I'm always trying to put the truth out here and trying to educate you guys and put you know, information out here for you. I want to reiterate this again. I already made a similar video, but wanted to remind you guys to find other options for straight hair, such as a wig, a sew-in, a weave, you know, any type of, you know, crochet braids, something like that. Anything that you can change your look up and you not have to chemically process your hair. They also said another thing too, because a long time ago I used to have relaxed hair, but I would get relaxers maybe twice a year. And then I would just let them leave it in like 5 minutes or something, because my hair is already like a soft texture and my hair not super thick. So anyway, my hair not as dense. So, you know, they say that contributes too. Like the longer you leave it in, you know, and the more often you do the relaxers too, the more of a chance. And to be honest, some people feel like that they need relaxers once a month. But really, you only supposed to get a relaxer, you know, about every, I would say 8 weeks or so, 2 months, or sometimes longer, just depending on how fast your hair grows. So anyway, you guys, I hope you will like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. And I hope you will subscribe to my channel, like I said. Stay tuned for some more vlogs. I'm about to go out of town, so I'm going to be vlogging from out of town for the 4th of July. Stay tuned for some new uploads. And I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace and blessings.